Do you want to be a moron, playing things which doesn't get you anywhere? All you do is bing in the end. Life is going tick-tock. Life is going tick-tock. Young men aged between 24 and 30 spend a minimum of 5.5 hours on the video games in United States of America. Playing with yourself and playing with a machine, on playing some silly game, 24 to 30 years of age is the time when you have to decide which way you're going to fall in this life, isn't it, in many ways?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. Today we are watching Sadhguru talk about video games. Let's watch.
It's a generational problem. I don't know to what extent these numbers are right, but I don't think they're very far from truth. Some survey says young men aged between 24 and 30 spend a minimum of 5.5 hours on the video games in United States of America. Maybe they're little off this way or that way, but I don't think they're too far away. See, in a young person's life, for most human beings, between 24 and 30 is the time when you really shape your life. Isn't it so? Hello? That's the time. Most people have just finished their education and that's the time they're really shaping their life, one way or the other. Whether you're going into your profession or crime or politics, I don't know what's your choice, but that is the time you're shaping your life. At such a time, a crucial time in one's life, they're spending 5.5 hours on an average on playing some silly game of shooting people or shooting ducks or something, all kinds of weird things. I don't even know what else is there. I know only by what other people have told me. I have never played a goddamn game. I like games, but I have never played a video game because other things have kept me busy. I'm not saying it is completely wrong. It's a generational thing. Digital technology is new and all kinds of things happening on the screen, which is far more active than what's happening in the world, so it keeps people engaged. This is not a moral issue. This is a mental issue. Do you want to be a moron, playing things which doesn't get you anywhere? All you do is bing in the end. Playing with yourself and playing with a machine, or life is going tick-tock. Life is going tick-tock. 24 to 30 years of age is the time when you have to decide which way you're going to fall in this life, isn't it, in many ways? For me, at 25, significant things happened So this is not about making something wrong, that's not the point. Well, maybe one day when there is a video game World Cup, if you become the champion of the champions, then maybe people will appreciate that also. But I must tell you this, I know a family, they had 2 sons. And one of them, the other one I don't want to talk about, one of them invests only in video game companies, all right? And he plays video games nearly 12 to 14 hours a day. and a physiotherapist comes and works his joints every day, because otherwise he does only this. I stay in their home for 3 days. In these 3 days, not once did any of those young boys step out of the room. So, this is a phenomena in the world right now. Because the technology is new, we are overly excited about it. First thing is, at the age of 3, you made him play this, so he doesn't know any other game. Game means on the video, that's the only game he knows. You can't blame the boy for this. Now if you want to correct, if you throw the S box out, we don't know what'll happen to you. When people get hooked onto something, really hooked onto something, you try to go in the way, they want to kill you for sure, isn't it? And already he's practiced plenty on the video games. He's practiced plenty. So don't try throwing the S box out. See if you can get him interested. Put him in a trekking program or a mountain climbing program, something where it demands physical and mental attention. I don't think he will go and play tennis. No. But if you put in a program like this, initially he suffers, he wants to run away, usually they don't let them go. Once you're on top of the mountain, at least you have to come back. There is no this to come back, you have to walk down. It may change his perspective, or he may resign himself completely to video games because this demands so much pain and stuff, you know. Climbing a mountain is not it's a joy, but it's not… it's a lot of pain too. It's a great joy, but it's a lot of pain. Every time, every year, when I do this Kailash trek in Nepal and Himalayas, in Tibet when we trek, I always think, enough, I've done enough of these things. Because going through the treacherous terrain, most incredible terrain, your eyes think so, your mind thinks so, but your legs, they don't agree. Your legs and sometimes your lungs, both of them don't agree that this is an incredible place. So, for all you know, if you put him through that, he may never again come out of a video game, or he may, because he knows so much shooting. Maybe he should join the army. Yeah, possibly. You want to shoot, you must at least be in the army because at least you're shooting for a cause. Otherwise, you may start shooting on the street. So, if army is not possible, maybe a policeman, at least you can carry a gun. Maybe you don't get to shoot much. I'm not trying to joke about this, but this is a painful reality that this generation of people are going through. If we have children like that at home, there's nothing to blame them for. It's we who've done this. Because a lot of people gave video games to their children because they want to go to the party, they want to do something else, you want to live your life, but this one demands attention. You yourself are dying for attention, but this one demands attention who's just come. So you give him something that engages him, it will lead to lots of things. And there's also a peer situation. His friends are playing S-box. If you don't bring the Y-box for him, he will create certain situations. So this is why a lot of people did not understand this probably. I said, Repeatedly I'm saying and I'm saying again, see, you are not a tiger, nor are you a panda. I'm saying you're not an endangered species. It is not compulsory that all of you should reproduce. There is no such thing. Those who think they want to have children and dedicate a certain amount of… considerable amount of time to raise another human being who will be better than them, they should do it, because after all, human generations need to happen. But it's not compulsory that everybody must have a child. So, if we want to produce children, we must be willing to allot a certain amount of time. Accidentally they turned out well, that's not the point. It's not right. Once we take charge of a new life, a fresh life, we must be willing to give a certain amount of time, energy and the focus that is required to nurture this life in the best possible way, isn't it? So one thing, if you want to wean your child off these kind of things, whether it's video games or television or something, in some way you have to make yourself more exciting than the video game, than the television, than something else. You have to make yourself that kind of a person, they want to be with you. So, you can't… a child is not a machine. You can't switch it one way tomorrow morning. So video games to enjoying the rainbow is not going to work like that. It's a constant cultivation. Constant cultivation every day, every day, every day. It may work. There's no guarantee it will work. Hello? Those of you who raise children, you know, it may work. There is no such thing as it will work. There's no such thing. If you pay enough attention, it will yield good results. Otherwise, we don't know, because you're not the only one paying attention to them. There are so many others who are also paying attention, and they may be more impressive than you. Yes? Somebody on the street corner may be far more impressive than you and they may influence them much more than you. Yes? So… Oh, Sadhguru, I just asked you about the video games. Now you tell me I made the mistake of bearing a child. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, this is the consequence of handling a living being, including yourself. If you tend to it properly every day, it will turn out to be something. If you think once in 12 years you can attend to it, then it's only by accident. When something turns out well or bad, by accident, you will remain in extreme anxiety, even if it turns out well, because it's by accident. You must understand it's not about fixing your child's life, it's about fixing this life. If this is fixed, this will create the right ambience where the child grows up. It is substantially proved that in the making of life, for most human beings, over 80% of their life is determined by what they're exposed to rather than the genetics. So, you have the 20% already in your hands, genetics. Another 80% is there. Of course, children go to school, of course they play on the street, but you must keep your percentage over 50% at least, isn't it? Because you have the advantage of 20% genetics and till they're 12, 15, at least you have some control over their life. So your share of influence must be at least 60–70%, isn't it so? But if that has to happen, you have to do something about yourself that they cannot help looking up to you, not in fear. If they look up to you in fear, aversion will come. Once they find their feet, they will teach you another lesson. Not in fear, but they look up to you because they think you're fantastic. So you have to do some circus to prove that you're fantastic. That they start looking up to you in such a way that they will allow you to influence them.
What a fantastic video. I have some notes that I just made, and I'm going to reflect back on everything that Sadhguru said. Starting with number 1. Video games are a waste of time. If you really look at the objective nature of video games, you're sitting behind a computer or an Xbox or a TV and clicking buttons, getting some fake objective. It doesn't make you more money, create more resources. It just sinks time away into an imaginary video game. It's not even a physical video game where you can maybe strengthen your body. It's a video game. Now, that's not totally true because video games can improve your hand-eye or coordination. And I heard Joe Rogan once talking about how surgeons that play video games, especially certain types of video games, their surgeries are on average something like 30% better, which is, wow, astonishing. Every surgeon should be playing video games of that nature because it makes you better. So not completely true. If you can train certain things, but the vast majority of video games, 80% plus, and the reason why people play them are just a waste of time. It's fun. Which leads me to the second point, which is that not in this video, but a different Sadhguru's video, Sadhguru was talking about how video games are a way for men, especially young men, to seek out their warrior nature. But they don't want to go and shed their own blood somewhere in the battlefield. They would much rather do it on a video game, which is much safer. And all of these videos, like video games like Call of Duty and these super masculine and violent video games are just essentially that. They're mimicking the most aggressive and the most, I don't want to say masculine, but I'm going to say masculine nature of life, which is going out and fighting in battlefield and war and so on and so forth. But war is dangerous. You don't want to go into just jump into any war, even if the money is good. Hey, I'm just going to go to war. No. The chances of you losing your life are there. So better you play out a video game because there's no chance of you losing your life. You have many lives. You have an infinity of lives. That being said, people have made livelihoods off of playing video games. I see so many people playing video games and they're making a living through sponsorships and through so many things. And video games are becoming a much bigger thing. They're huge now, much bigger than they were 5 years ago or 10 years ago when I was still playing. And you can make a living now, and soon they'll have Olympics of video games, and they already do have very big kind of video game rivalries, you can say. Yeah, generally it's a waste of time, and it's not leading to anything. I want to mention here that I play video games. I used to play very heavily back when I was in high school. I loved playing video games. It was the most fun I ever had. Why? Because there was nothing better for me. Living in Canada, it wasn't like where I grew up in Ukraine. I could just go and find friends and we would go and play soccer or do some crazy stuff. And that was fun. We were living life. But now you're in your room, in your house, and you can't come back from school and you're playing video games. Why? Because the socializing aspect of there and the warrior aspect of there, you want to shoot in a video game. So, next point is Sadhguru talks about that 24 to 30 approximately is the time to shape your life, which is absolutely true. You're marking your arrow, where you want to point to, where you want to shoot at, where in life do you want to go. And I see this for myself. I'm 29 years of age now. Next year I'll be 30, or this year I'll be 30. My God, Jesus, where did time go? And yes, I'm now especially very strongly thinking about the direction of my life and thinking about where I want to invest my time and energy into and what I want to create, what massive things I want to create. And so now is the time to do that. And it's funny because right now there's a game called Call of Duty, and Call of Duty just re-announced this map, Warzone. It's some silly thing. And so I'm playing now with my brother for the first time in many months or years, actually. And we're playing again, and it's fun. It's so much fun. And after a few hours of playing with my brother, I'm watching this video by Sadhguru, and Sadhguru's talking about it's a waste of time. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's a huge waste of time. It doesn't give me anything. It doesn't give me any, even if I'm watching YouTube videos, I can still learn, I can gather information. But video games don't really offer anything of value. So it's just a time sinker. Sadhguru also says that video games are kind of a nanny, nanny being that if you want to go out, you have a kid and you want to go out to dinner, you want to go out see friends, you give your child a little video game and that occupies him. He'll put his attention there. Why? Because it's extremely addictive. There's so many videos of children screaming when they're playing video games because it's such an addictive thing. And also it's new. People are overly excited, as Sadhguru says. So it's very fun. And that's not the right thing to do. That's not wise to give your child technology because you don't want to take care of him or it's not exciting for you or you're bored or you don't want to pay attention to your child. No. Which goes on to the next point that not everybody should have a child. That's huge. It's humongous. Why should you pop out children? Because the sexual act is such a compulsive act. Nature just kind of makes you want to do that. And you do that and you have a child. Oh, okay. Now we have a child. What do we do now? I don't know. No, it has to be a conscious process. And what kind of product are you making if you're making a child? Are you just going to go willy-nilly, pop out a few kids just because? No. Who are you? Who is the person you're with? What kind of product are you making? And then he says, sometimes children turn out to be good accidentally. Is that what you want? Roll the dice. I hope he's good. I hope he's not the next Mussolini or somebody else. No, that's not wise. That's not sane. That's not smart. You want to consciously cultivate this human being. Again, there's no guarantee that person's like going to be Mussolini because you don't really know who you're getting. You can help shape that person, but realistically, what's inside of them is already preset. That's just how it goes. So, yeah, you don't want to accidentally make good kids. That's tragic, okay? Don't do that. Please make the reproductive act more conscious. Human beings need to be more sane as it relates to this. Video games are fun. They're hugely fun. They're huge fun. Oh my God. If you ever played video games, you could just sit for the entire day. I have no doubt that 5 hours a day young men play video games. Probably more, much more than that. Why? Because it's just so much fun. It's so freaking fun. But there are much funner games. And you should invest your time into those games. Like what? Like soccer, football, baseball, basketball, swimming, hiking, so many other things. Which you got to do. So you got to do the right thing. And time is wasting. When you're playing a video game, all that's going is time is rolling away and you're not really cultivating anything new or any valuable skill, or you're just wasting away time. And after 5 hours of playing, you're that many hours closer to death. That doesn't sit well with me. Even though I still want to play video games, and I'm probably after I finish this call, a video, and I'm going to go play some video games. Why? Because I want to do that right now, but that's not going to be the way I'm not going to do it permanently or for a long time. Right now is the time to have fun a little bit for the next day or two. Sadhguru also says that, this is a side note, not really about video games, going to Kailash every year and his legs are hurting and his lungs are hurting. Yes. Wow. Kailash is such a wonderful place. I've been there in 2024. I have many YouTube videos. I should maybe compile a list of the entire videos that I made in Kailash and upload it as a one big video. I think I would do that. But your legs and lungs don't feel like that when you're there. It hurts a lot. It hurts a lot. Oh my God. I remember walking around Kailash. If we go to Kailash in 2026, which is we're planning to go, you should sign up. You should make a reservation at shivakailash.com if you want to go. But once we go, or if we go, we're not going to go around Kailash. That's a waste of time. That's unneeded, not needed. It's too painful, too difficult, and the benefits aren't really that magnificent either. So we're going to spend 2 days at least at the north face of Kailash. If you don't know what Kailash is, it's the most mystical, it's the biggest, largest mystical library on the planet, and it's situated it's situated in the Himalayas, in the northern part of Himalayas. So, yeah, Sadhguru doesn't play video games because he has better things to do, other things that are occupying his time. Yet he does play other video games, like he throws a frisbee around and he plays soccer. So I hope we get to a place in our society that artificial intelligence and robots and machines can pretty much do everything for us, or almost everything, as much as they can do. And for human beings to just be unemployed, not really have much to do. You know, I see these things on Twitter, on X. They're saying, oh, can you believe they're trying to get the artificial intelligence to take our jobs away? How dare they? Yes, you want your job to be taken away from you. Okay? You don't want to be broke. You don't want to be poor. You don't want to be homeless. You don't want to starve, but you don't want to do a shitty job. Okay? Cleaning the bathroom, making some hamburgers, let a machine do that. And you go to the more creative sides of life. Let's fix survival. Can't we just make survival just, we got you. You're born here, there's a little safety net, you're chilling. Okay? You don't really gotta do much. Just don't get into trouble. Here's some food, here's a place to stay. Now figure it out. To go live, go hike, go travel, go do this, go do that, go do the other thing. Don't you want that? Isn't that more sane to do? So let's do it. We can make it happen. Let's make it happen. Go to shivakailash.com and buy yourself some essential spiritual goodies. Like what? Like Shiva's teardrops, Rudraksha. This is Shiva, by the way. He has Rudraksha that you can see right here. This is his technology. You wear this. One of the most powerful spiritual tools you can acquire is this. Fantastic. Mwah. You should get one. You should get one because it's just the right thing to do. You should have one as a human being. If you're a human being, you're spiritual, you got to get this. I don't know how else to say it. And everything, pretty much everything I'm going to offer on my website is just essential. At 100%, I believe. I'm not going to put things that are just frivolous. So things that transform your life. This is one of them. There are other things like particular type of metal that you wear that it comes in contact with you. Oh my God, it's going to awaken something so deep, so powerful, so mystical. You watch the videos on my YouTube channel, on my website, excuse me. shivakailash.com is the place to be. Book your session with me if you want to talk to me, if you want to change your life rapidly, if you want to transform your life, you want to be impacted with energy, if you want to perceive energy, if you want to dive into the mystical realms of existence and you want my help, you want to work with me, do it. shivakailash.com. Subscribe, like this video. I cherish you very much. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Stay blessed.